in this video, I want to share with you how you can break this habit of perfectionism. As ADHDers, we're really, really good at that, being a perfectionist and trying to get things right so we don't get rejected, right? So we don't get to fail. We get to, protect ourselves from that horrible experience of failure, so on and so forth. I want to talk to you about how you can deal with that much better as an ADHDer. And we're building on from yesterday's lesson that we did, where we was doing the desire inbox now instead of the to-do list. That's the reframe. Having a desire inbox, of course, makes it much easier for you to identify whether it's something you want to do, whether it's something that you want to delete because it's not actually something that's important. You just kind of like said yes to it and realize that actually, there's not real importance for this. Or you can delegate it to someone else who will obviously be able to do it a lot faster than you can, and maybe it's a better use of time for them, obviously, because you're either going to pay them or it's just something that they love more than you do, or of course you just obviously delete it, right? But you just want to get rid of this stuff, right? And stop keeping these open tabs just there and not dealing with them, because when you're avoiding them, they're just going to stay there and they're consuming a lot of energy, right? So that's what the main premise of this whole thing is about. Is just how you can reserve your energy for the things that you love, right? So desire without habits becomes frustration. We just get really frustrated when it's not done. It's annoying. It's just still there. It's just nigging at you. Like, yeah, you still haven't done it yet. It's been a month. Like, that it's really frustrating, right? But habits without rewards don't stick, right? If we ain't really got a reward attached to it, it's just really not enticing for us to want to do it, right? We're not really motivated to do it. So ADHD plus perfectionism is what's making us freeze, right? When you add those two things together. But you don't have to have it that perfectionism comes in, right? Perfectionism is the thing that is making you flare those ADHD traits up, right? It's not ADHD itself, it's the fact that you're adding perfectionism to it, right? And it's because you are, which I'll share with you in a moment, it's really the rejection sensitivity dysphoria, like that's playing the part in this. It's that you are trying to protect yourself from criticism, shame, rejection, not being enough, not fitting in. Like there's all these things that are making you do this kind of overthinking and sitting with that and being like, okay, I need to get this right because if I say the wrong thing now, it's going to be embarrassing, or right? Your brain doesn't fear the effort for something, right? It's not really that. It feels like it might be that, it's disguised, but it's not really that. It's the fear of emotional pain that's going to come with it. So, like you thinking that you're going to be embarrassed, the shame of it all, that is what your brain is trying to protect you from. And because you're believing that, yep, this could potentially happen if I do this, you kind of go into this perfectionism, which actually makes things worse because every time I'm trying to be a perfectionist, I actually make things worse, like by overdoing it and overcomplicating things, right? In the end, it just makes it far worse for me. So this is RST. It's not really a character flaw. It's not something to do with like you are the problem. It's just that you are rejection sensitive, and therefore you're basing it on that. You're trying to protect yourself from having that flare up, right? So the hard truth is that perfectionism or being a perfectionist doesn't create momentum. So like you sitting there like, trying to plan everything and write things down and be prepared and all this stuff, like in terms of like trying to anticipate and, you know, overthinking, um, that's not really going to help, right? You feel like it is, and you feel like being calculated is going to help with the outcome of not being embarrassed or anything, but that's not the case. Action is the thing that's going to create the momentum that you need, right? For anything. So you find yourself not following through, it's not because you need to sit down and think about things more. It's more action that's required in this process. So this is how it works, right? So your ADHD brain logic is that your brain learns from the rewards, not the pressure, right? And what you need to ideally look into is just starting small, finishing something, just having it finished. It's just a win, and it doesn't have to be a crazy win. Like it doesn't have to be like, yeah, I'm doing the 1 hour, like look, 1 hour at the gym. Like just show up to the gym. That's progress, and log that progress. I went to the gym today. That's the win, right? And then the reward is obviously going to get dopamine from that. There's a relief of like, oh, there's one thing off the list that I don't have to worry about, or not even a list. It's more so just the relief of that, you know, that's out the way now. So now I can enjoy because it's not going to be in the background just kind of nigging at me that I didn't do it, right? Then there's the momentum that's built from that, and then also the self-trust, right? These are all rewards that you get for just doing something and doing it very small, right? So this is how habits actually form for ADHD. This is where we start small, because once we're in it, yeah, you can't get us out of it. That's the thing. So like we know when we're in something, it's hard to get us out. So the FBI journaling, as I said, is the main part of this whole entire week. It's coming off the back of this, right? So we don't want to remove friction. That's kind of not the goal really. Is that we want to work with it, right? Um, and while we're working with it, it's just going to make things easier for you, right? So obviously, friction is the perfectionism is creating this resistance before the action. So do you see like what's happening here? You being a perfectionist is making you even more resistant to doing the action because you want to get the action perfect. So in the end, you're overthinking it and you just don't know which one is the best option to do. And then that's just creating this resistance to even taking action full stop, right? But small progress creates a relief and the motivation that you need to keep going, right? And then setting goals your brain can win, not fear, right? What you're doing in perfectionism is that you're creating this fear of making the wrong decision. When you do these small wins, or when you just, have a goal that's quite small, now, oh, yeah, that's easy. All I have to do is do that. Yeah, fine. That'll take me 5 minutes. That feels good, right? You need to make your brain see that, piece of cake, man. Might as well just do it now. Like, so RSD reframe, right? You've got the critical shift, obviously, of your brain, where what you want to do is that you've got your brain and what it's learned. And if I mess up, this is going to be unsafe, so I better, be a perfectionist and make sure I get this right. Then you end up messing it up, right? What we're teaching our brain to do instead is if I mess up, I'm learning, right? Mistakes are not rejection. This is the thing. Failure is not rejection. All this is feedback, right? It's just giving us feedback. And that feedback is going to help us to grow. So the habit that we're practicing today is that start before you can judge it, right? No editing, no fixing, no overthinking. Just move, just move, just take action. We're very impulsive as ADHD. Just use that to your advantage and be impulsive and just move first, then do the judgment later and think it through like after. Okay, so let me just dissect what happened there when I took action. Learn from the action that you took. Then you can think. So perfection delays performance. Progress builds pride and it makes you perform better in the process in the end, right? So that's what I want to leave you with. Just take an actionable step around this and also let me know what your thoughts are on perfection now and how you want to deal with the progress and what action do you want to take that you as being a perfectionist about that you actually was able to do now because of this lesson. Okay, take care. Peace.